Hello and welcome to Beyond the Box Score. I'm your host, Brad Fetters from BACB Sports. Today's show will bring you an inside look at the fall teams at Birmingham Groves High School. Before we get started, I'd like to acknowledge our hardworking team here at Box Score who recently won a Philo T. Farnsworth Award for excellence in broadcast media. Congrats to director Steve Rhoda and co-producer Jason Radalski, along with my broadcast partner Andy Aubrey. We can now turn our attention to the very first team, and that's the Groves soccer program. Last year's team went 9-1, but more importantly, won the OAA Blue, which earned them a promotion to the ultra-competitive White Division. The team hoped they had what it took to compete once again for a league title.
Last season, we showed pretty well. We won the OAA Blue. We played a lot of OAA Red teams, which is the highest division. We did all right against them, but we got to districts. We finally won a game, which is kind of big for us because we haven't done that in about 3 years, so that was big for us. But unfortunately, we lost in district semis. So.
We had the team, we had the talent, but when districts came around, we got unlucky. We kind of slacked off, I guess, in our game. But I mean, we're back this year. I think we'll be strong this year and hopefully get that district title.
I think last year was a big success because 2 years prior, we were moved down to the Blue Division and the teams weren't as we wanted it to be. We wanted to compete at a higher level. And so the first year with Coach Turner, it was sort of a rebuildment year. And then last year, we got some new seniors, new players, and we started to possess a lot more than we did in prior years. And we luckily we tied the last game, our league game, to move up to the White Division where we are now. And so I think last year was a big success.
I really liked our team last year. I liked the captains a lot, the seniors that left last year. I felt like they held us together really well. We played really well together. We had strong forwards that left, so it sucks that we lost them. But other than that, I felt like we had a really good season.
Last year was a good year for us. We had a lot of things to learn last year. We came together really well at the end of the season. Had a tough schedule. My first year as really scheduling the season, and I want to make sure we played against the top teams to prepare us for districts. And it paid off. I mean, I know our record was 500, but we had I think we were 6-0-1 in the division. We won the league. So I mean, everything we did last year is preparation for districts.
We're expecting a district championship, but then we want to go farther. We want a state.
Coach has made it very clear on us that winning a district championship is not a goal, it's an expectation, and we want to go as far as we can past that, and anything less than that would be a disappointment.
Communication is key on our team. That's what my brother's the assistant coach. He was telling us that we need to communicate, and if we do that, then playing the ball, switching the field is gonna be a lot quicker and easier. And also, I feel like we need to shift the ball faster, throughout our defense, and get to the other side of the field faster.
Well, this year, our focus has been on it's really coming together as a team. And I think last year we had some pieces that I think just new in the program, new kids, and it didn't have the impact of unity that I needed in order to get that next level. This year, the guys are committed to the same goal, which is we want to go out and we want to win a district title.
We're a small team compared to some of the other schools in the White Division, in the Red, where we're playing. And so we can't really force the ball as much as we want to. We can't clip long balls because we don't have the forwards that are tall enough or have the speed needed for that. So we need to possess the ball in the midfield and the defensive third.
The 5-captain idea is last year I believe we had 3 captains. We had 2 returning captains from last year. And I just felt with a lot of the seniors that we had who've been here for, we had 4 years now, these guys. And they all have different things they bring to the table. Some guys just lead by example, some guys are really vocal.
It's Coach Turner's 3rd year. I think he's learned a lot. Every day in training, his drills are amazing. And, we added Willie this year. He's a great assistant coach. He actually played at Grove, and he's really helping us with our defense a lot. So I think he's a good addition.
I mean, he's a very dynamic guy. He brings in all aspects of the game, the team bonding, the communication on the field, and just overall skills on the ball. And so I think those 3 years, it's been working for this year specifically to go big.
Coach Turner, he is very supportive, and that's one of the qualities I love in him. He always wants the best for us, and he will make sure if we need anything, he'll make it happen.
I feel like he really loves the program and he puts a lot of effort into it, and he takes a lot of time like revising everything and like coaching us and everything, and it helps us like play better.
I think playing against Seaholm, obviously, you know, our rival, and I think if we got humiliated by them last year, and I think if we can flip that around, it'll encourage more people to come to our games. And I also think the first round of districts is going to be huge. It's going to set the tempo, and I think that we're going to look to go out there and win that one 4-0.
I think the only game we have is Seaholm this year, because everyone out there right now, they know what happened last year. They came here, they embarrassed us, so we're going to look to return the favor next year and see what happens.
Oh, for sure, Seaholm. Seaholm's number one. We're coming for them this year. Guys, last year, I think we had them the year before, but this is our year for sure.
Like most years with Groves, it's going to be the Seaholm game. The Seaholm game is a really big game for us because, I mean, they're just a mile away from us, and we've had the big rivalry for a long time. And so that'd be the Seaholm game, I'd say.
Well, the first one's always Troy. That's our first game of the season, and it's something we've been doing for a long time. And, getting the guys up, it's a good test for us early. They're always a good team, so that's one I always circle. And then, obviously, Athens. I graduated from Athens. So for me, when I go to schedule the games, I'm making sure I'm putting Athens on there.
A special moment. I would say it would be my first game as a freshman on varsity. That really stuck out to me. I worked really hard through preseason to get to the varsity spot, and I thought that I could compete. I thought that I was ready, and my first few games was a little rusty, just getting used to everything, but I'd say my first game would definitely be a big highlight.
Last year, scoring the goal against Seaholm to make it 5-2, it was a shame, but it was probably the best goal I've ever scored, and hopefully I can repeat it again this year.
My sophomore year, I think my first varsity goal. Just hit it up in 90. It was pretty sweet.
My favorite memory of Groves soccer is probably my first goal as a freshman, and we had a very bad season. Freshman year, we won one game, and that was the game we won. I scored the game winner, so yeah, that's my favorite memory so far.
I enjoy being a coach. For me, it's not just about winning soccer games. It's about making sure these guys are going out in the real world prepared. It's not always easy out there. And, watching my guys graduate, watching them have success out of high school, that to me is more important than anything. As far as anything on the field right now, it's obviously winning the Blue last year. I know the Blue is not seen as a high caliber league, but winning that league last year was huge for us. That's a huge accolade for our program.
I would now like to introduce our very own Andy Aubrey to today's program. And Andy, we saw this Grove squad twice this year. They were coming off all kinds of success the last couple of years, and we really didn't see much of a drop-off this year.
No, not at all. Head coach Jonathan Turner has brought a stability to the Falcons. And they were a very young team the last 2 years, but they really grew in the OAA Blue, and they found ways to win games and a league title. Now, they were right in the mix to claim an OAA white title this year, but fell a couple points short.
And really, it was sort of a heartbreaking way in which they did end the season, in all honesty.
Right. Groves had an opportunity to win the league title if they were able to beat Oxford. But unfortunately, they fell in that game 2-1, and they finished in second place to North Farmington. They did get some revenge, however. They defeated their rivals from Seaholm 3-2 in a very exciting game at the end of the regular season.
And that is a game you can view on BACB Sports. The best way to go about doing that is online, our video on demand portion of the website. It's bloomfieldtwp.org. Make sure you click on the BACB Sports and scroll on down. All of our fall sports are available that way, and Groves Andy met up with Berkeley in the first round of the playoffs.
They did. Tough first round matchup, and it was a battle. Berkeley ended up coming out in front in overtime with a 2-1 final.
A good season overall for the Falcons, who lose more than a few players from this year's team, but should be back once again competing next year in the OAA White. We now move to the hardwood and the volleyball team at Birmingham Groves. A building problem sent the Falcons on the road for the early part of this season, including a practice that we attended. But head coach Jenny Brown made sure the team was focused and prepared for the upcoming season.
Well, last season, it was kind of rocky. We didn't have a lot of, team cohesion, but the good thing about the team, the girls were close, but then on the court, we just kind of fell apart. But I feel like this year we're a lot closer, and we play together well.
I think that in the beginning, we worked well together. And then, like, towards the end of the season, we kind of started drifting apart, and, like, there was a lot of miscommunications, and I think we need to build on our communication skills as a team, and I think that'll bring us very far.
Some missed opportunities, times that we didn't deliver when we should have, and room for growth.
I think we get along very well. Like, we have a lot of young players, but it's working good so far. And I think we, like, know how to push each other in practice. Like, we always are on top of each other, making sure we need to do what we have to do to be better.
I see, like, we're growing really fast, and at the tournament I could see that we were going to grow as a good team and, like, be good this year, I feel like.
Practice is going well. I like the team chemistry. We really work well together. We're all friends outside of the court, too.
We usually wait till after our first or second tournament before we name captain. So Victoria Otten is our returning captain. She is hardworking. She's our setter. First one in, last one out.
I think for Coach Jenny's, it's fun. She really pushes you to, like, play your hardest, and she doesn't put you down when you make a mistake. She tells you what you do wrong and tells you how to fix everything that you do.
She works well with both our defense and our offense, which is great. She doesn't focus on one aspect of the team alone. She works on every individual player.
I like Coach Jenny a lot. She's very understanding, understands that we have things outside of volleyball, and that's really nice because it's stressful when coaches don't understand and they think your world revolves around volleyball.
I just always try to push everyone and make sure everyone's comfortable. I think that's the most important thing, because if you're not comfortable, you're not going to work well with each other.
My responsibilities are making sure the team knows when they have to be here, when we leave, mainly all the scheduling stuff and keeping us together outside, so I organize those activities as well.
I like to encourage the younger girls to push harder and keep trying and don't give up on themselves. And I feel like as a senior, I've, like, gained a lot more confidence in myself throughout the years.
We always want to make sure that all of our games we take serious, that we put in the work before. League's obviously very important to us. We want to make sure that we get it done there where it counts and that we prepare for districts. I would say that all of our league games really kind of are our highlight. We like the Berkeley game. It's always, we get great fans. The kids come out. They make it interesting, so the girls get pumped for it.
I look forward to playing Seaholm. Last year I was injured and I was out of the game, so I haven't played Seaholm on the varsity level yet. They're a great competition for us to go against.
Definitely Seaholm. I'm excited to see them. Very excited. I think last year was a real disappointment for us, and this year we're ready. So let's go.
Obviously Seaholm. That's always the big game. It's the rivalry.
So before I started playing on varsity, I was a freshman. It was our third game. I can't remember who we were against, but it was watching the girls on the court. It was Shelby Pitts and Shelby Mullins, their middle approach, and the team afterwards, the celebration. It kind of just makes you want to play and you want to get on the court more.
Well, I played club volleyball for like 6 years at Legacy, and I loved it. Some of my favorite memories are going to Florida for nationals.
I would say that winning back-to-back districts was really kind of an awesome thing. Our first district here was the first one that our coaching staff won together, and then to do it 2 years in a row was awesome. So I would love to be able to give these seniors that same feeling. They weren't on the team when we won the last district, so that would be very nice.
Andy is back once again, and Coach Brown mentioned it to us, but it bears repeating. This was really an extremely young team.
They were young. Only 4 seniors on the entire roster this year, and that included libero Annie Franklin, who had to sit out last season due to transfer rules.
So really, it was the younger players that saw a lot of action this season and really seemed to hold their own.
They did. One of the players that really impressed us was sophomore Ellie Ruprecht. Now, she's going to be a mainstay in that lineup for the next couple of years.
A new makeup to this year's district for the Falcons.
Yeah, they move out of that bracket of death that had Seaholm and Marion in it to a district that features all the Farmington schools as well as Southfield. And first-round matchup with North Farmington looms for the Falcons.
And we wish the team good luck in districts and beyond. Now's a good time to remind you to follow us on Twitter at Beyond Box Score and give us a like on Facebook. Both social media pages feature behind-the-scene photos as well as links to all of our programming. Next, we head to the pool with the Groves water polo team. The Gators play in the ultra-tough East Region District 3 with the likes of Okemos, Holt, East Lansing, and their rivals, the Seaholm Maples. The team was geared up and ready to take on all challengers this season.
Last year was, I thought we had a great year. We did graduate 12 guys, something like that last year, so the pool was pretty crowded. And, I never want to measure this year's success by what we did last year, but we had some really good standout players.
Last year I thought the team was really solid. I mean, we had some studs, like huge goal scorers and stuff, huge guys. I feel like last year's team compared to this year's team, we have more chemistry. We play as a team better.
We had a really good team with a lot of seniors, and this year that was kind of a big hit for us to lose a lot of them, but we're bouncing back pretty well. We got a lot of good juniors and sophomores that are filling the gap for them.
The expectations were we'd make it to regionals pretty much, which is what we do every year. Try to obviously beat Seaholm.
This year, everyone thought we weren't going to do that well, especially Seaholm. They didn't think we were going to become the team that we did, especially because we don't have a lot of star players or anything, but we work really well as a team, and that's what we have as a strength.
I think last year's team was a lot more about a certain couple players, and this year we were definitely a lot more of a team and passed the ball a lot more and played as one unit.
Well, at the beginning of the year, wasn't sure what to expect. We did have a couple guys that came back to the team, and they were maybe in flux a little bit at the end of last season. Being overshadowed a bit, some of our juniors last year probably felt like their time would never come. And I think we're going to play a lot better than I expected that we would at this point.
Well, we kept our starting goalie, which we were excited about. And losing a lot of those strong players, we were kind of nervous. We weren't sure how we were going to do, but we've been pretty competitive thus far.
They're good guys, neither of them are selfish. They realize what we're doing is a team effort, and so I'm really happy with the two guys that I helped select as captains this year.
Bob's played a lot of polo back when he was a kid. He's got a lot of experience, and he brings a lot of talent to the team. I think is that different drills and stuff that we can use to improve.
He brings a lot of energy to practice for sure. When kids aren't doing what they're told, he gets on them. He makes everyone hit what he wants, so we're better water polo players.
Well, he's always able to fire us up no matter what. Even if we're all kind of down one day, he can always get us going. And he always knows where our strengths and weaknesses are, and that's what we work on in practice, and it really makes a difference going into games.
We've had a couple of them so far. The Seaholm game, obviously, that's a rivalry game across town. They are a great bunch of guys. Most of our kids play on club polo with them, so it's not a love-hate relationship. It's just very competitive, more like twin brothers, perhaps.
Definitely Seaholm is something that we put on the list as something very important. Also, Grand Blanc is something we were looking forward to.
Seaholm for sure was number one. That's always our biggest game of the year, and then probably we played Holt in East Lansing, which was another big game.
Thus far, what has kind of been that one moment for you in the game of water polo, your last couple of years now at the varsity level, that's really stood out to you?
I'd say last year, my first varsity goal is against Seaholm, and then another one was against Zeeland last year. It was they were really good, top 10 team, obviously, and I scored 2 goals on them, and I was pretty proud of myself.
I think that'd probably be this year with a couple seconds left in the Seaholm game. We were up by 1, and I got the ball, and I was swimming towards the shot clock with just 3 or 2 seconds left, and I knew we'd won, and it was just a really great feeling.
Boy, it's, I don't know if I could point to one of them. I think every year is a little bit different. I always, you envision having that moment each and every year. Maybe it's, hoisting a title. We haven't been able to do that. Since I've been coach here, we have not made it to states. So I feel like that moment's still ahead of me. There's been a couple really huge wins. A couple years ago, I know we played a great Okemos team, and we didn't really have a chance to beat them. Nobody gave us a chance to beat them, and we did. So, there's always those games where your team steps up and really it shows you something you haven't seen from them, and that's gratifying as a coach. But I think wins and losses really speak a lot. The kids want to win. They want to go to the next level. So, if we could make states this year, that would certainly be the moment for me.
And what a regular season for the Gators this year.
Yeah, dominating at times. With a double-digit victory they had over Troy United and Lake Orion, 1-goal victory over Seaholm, but a couple tough losses to Grand Blanc and Okemos.
A third-place finish in the district meant a first-round matchup with Troy in the playoffs.
Right. Groves was able to double them up, 14-7, but They fell to eventual district champion Okemos in the second round. Now, the Gators finished the district tournament with a 4th place result.
That was good enough to get a spot in regionals.
True, they squared off in the first round against Ann Arbor Skyline, who was a little too much for Groves. The final score in that one was 19-11.
Congratulations to the team on another outstanding season. We stay in the pool now with the girls swim team at Groves. An 11th place finish for the squad last season at States in the first year for head coach Ricky Forrest. A good mix of seniors and a few underclassmen are back and looking to make great strides and cut time in the pool.
Last season, I remember hardworking. I remember I was really close with the captains and the team. It was a really close year last year, so that was cool.
It was a good year. We had a transition from our new coach, so it was a little tricky. Just takes time to get used to it, but we turned out pretty good. I thought it was a good season.
Overall, I thought we did a pretty good job. We jumped up in places in both the league meet and the state meet. We got 11th overall. And had a state champion in the breaststroke that just graduated.
We actually improved a lot at states. We had I think 12 people make our state team. We had 2 divers, which was really good because we hadn't had any divers previous years that I've been on the team. So we had 10 swimmers, and that was a really big accomplishment because we ended up going up a couple places at states, which was really good for our team.
What I'm seeing this year is we are working really, really hard, and we are becoming really close with the freshmen and the newbies on the team. All the seniors are working hard to make sure everyone feels comfortable. And in the pool, we're actually doing really well. I'm seeing a lot of improvement.
We have a lot more people who are joining the team from sophomores and even juniors and seniors even. And I think they're all going to contribute to our team really well.
We've been doing a lot of intense dry lands. We've been running a lot, which has been a new change that we're not very used to just because we're swimmers. We're used to the water.
It's fun to be a captain. We have a lot of responsibility, just making sure the girls are doing everything they need to do, that Ricky doesn't have to constantly bark at them and tell them what to do. So just takes a little weight off Ricky's back.
When I found out I was a captain, it was at our banquet last year, and I was super nervous. My hands were shaking because I knew it was coming, but it was really exciting, and I'm with 3 other awesome girls.
I really tried to be a leader on the team and make sure everything was okay to be a captain. And what it's like is you get to talk to a lot of the team. You try to get really close with everyone so that they all feel comfortable. You kind of organize things, and it's really fun because you're kind of running it, and I like being a leader for the team because this team is so important to me.
The captains that we've picked this year, Taylor Moylanen, Camille Roche, Miranda French, and Julia DeMarco, they've really stepped up to the challenge, and they've started to take things into their own, and they've started to become more of leadership role.
I like Ricky. I've had him all 4 years, and so we're comfortable with him, and he's a good coach. We have fun, but we work hard.
I think that him being a swimmer before helped a lot with understanding what we're going through and having good sets with trying to get us better.
He's a good coach. He really pushes us, which is good, and we do our best because we want to impress Ricky.
I love Ricky. Ricky's he was our assistant coach before he was our head coach, and he's fun to be around. His mood is contagious. If he's in a bad mood, the team's going to be in a bad mood. If he's in a good mood, then we're going to be in a good mood.
I really like going on Seaholm because I know a lot of people there. It's not always the fastest meet, but since I know a lot of people there, it's fun to talk to the other teams and just having fun there.
Trash talk.
Sure.
Definitely that school down the road with those maroon colors that we don't like to talk about. But yeah, they're a phenomenal team. As you know, that they were state champions last year, and I was very excited for Carl and his team. They definitely deserved it. We definitely respect them. It doesn't mean that we like them in particular, but they bring out a pretty good battle in us, and we're looking forward to the challenge.
Seaholm. A lot of us know a lot of girls at Seaholm, so it's real competitive because we went to middle school with them, and so it's just a good swim meet.
For Groves, I think my highlight of my swimming career was one meet last year with we were doing a relay at the very end, and we were head to head with the other team. I think we were maybe a couple points behind, and then we were able to touch out Cranbrook Kingswood, and we won by 4 points, which was really fun, and I think we touched them out by a 10th.
For me, it was last year when I got my state cut at the Seahome meet because we were at Seahome. Some people suited up, which was really fun, and it was just really competitive because it's like our sister school. So
my sophomore year and freshman year, I had gone through an injury, so it was kind of hard recovering from that. And last year, I got my state cut, and when I got out of the pool, the whole team was like at my lane. People were crying, people were hugging me, and it was like the best moment ever because all that hard work, it finally paid off, and I had my team there to celebrate with me.
You know, actually, it came down to a just a random dual meet that we had. It was against Cranbrook High School, and I think, you know, when a meet is that close, within 4 points, that was the differential, and you know, it comes down to that last relay, and you have the entire team kind of focused into the meet, even if you're not swimming. It gives you goosebumps, and I have it right now just thinking about it. And when a meet becomes that close and everything matters, you know, and both teams are kind of giving it their all, I think that's like one of the cool things that, you know, brought me back into the sport and giving back to coaching.
A 16th place finish at counties for the Falcons this year.
Right, their best result was from the 200 free relay team of Miranda French, Camille Roche, Juliette Cerny, and Taylor Moylanen. And they came in 7th place.
Camille Roche also had a terrific individual result at that meet.
She did. She's a terrific long-distance swimmer. She finished 9th in the 200 free event at the county meet, an event she recently won in our coverage against Seaholm.
A few of the younger swimmers will really need to step up for Groves this season. Who are some of the names that we should be paying attention to?
Well, Nikki Barnes is definitely one of those names. She's turned in a first-place performance in the 200 IM and 100 breaststroke against Seaholm. Nicole Bastian is another who is a terrific all-around swimmer.
Good luck to Coach Forrest and his girls this year as they will compete at the Oakland University for the Division II state meet. We end today's show with the football team. The best 2-year stretch in school history saw the team go a combined 21-3, including last season's run to the state semifinal game. A few pieces were back from last season's OAA White Championship team, and we're looking to repeat.
Last season we had a lot of seniors that played 3 years, started 3 years, so those guys had great leadership skills. Basically what we did is we rallied behind those dudes. They took us under their wing. They taught us, you know, everything they learned throughout their 3 years of playing, and we just took that and we just practiced hard and we just followed their lead and just worked off of that.
It was us proving people wrong, and we earned the respect that we deserved.
Last year was a great year. It was a real big learning experience for a lot of us. Never been that far before. I thought it made us better and we're more prepared for this season. The highs of last year, definitely beating Brother Rice in the district championship. It's always good to go get them guys.
It's just the big thing about them is the singleness of purpose. Like it was about, you know, team, family, and that translated into winning. You know, they cared about the guy next to them more than themselves.
We established a great culture last year of competitiveness and huge aspirations, and we want to continue that culture. We want to continue on the legacy that the seniors established last year.
Our theme was, you know, better than yesterday. So, you know, you either get better or get worse. So, I mean, we're trying to, like, you know, accomplish what we did last year and be a little bit better.
Expectations definitely make the playoffs and beat Seaholm.
What the seniors did last year, the great season they had last year, we knew we had a lot of younger guys. We lost a lot of seniors. So basically, what Coach told us was, you know, just take what those seniors taught you guys and how you guys practice and just, you know, teach the younger guys, and you guys can be successful or as successful as this season last year. So.
To be named as a captain is a serious form of recognition from my teammates, from my coaches, from the people I respect and look up to the most.
Well, I think we got a great group of senior guys. Chase Ford, you know, Griffin Best, those guys are a heartbeat on the defense. You know, they're starters here. You know, 2-year starter for Chase, 3-year starter for Griffin. So those guys are the heartbeat for us. And those guys, you know, our tempo goes the way those guys go, especially on defense.
During practice, he brings the energy every practice, every day. I don't ever see Coach Flaherty just like down, quiet. He's always like positive and getting better and just working hard, getting the best out of each and every player. Even if their role isn't to be a starter or to play at all, he's just big about everybody feeling love and just working hard, being the best person they can be on the field and off the field.
His enthusiasm, everything that he does, he gives his 110%. I've looked at other programs and just the level of energy that Coach Flaherty brings to practices and to games is above and beyond everything I've ever seen.
We were looking forward to Oak Park, and we were looking forward to Harrison. Basically, these two games will put us on the map, so we knew that if we could compete against those teams, we could compete against anybody in the state. So that's basically what we really like highlighted on our calendar this season.
Seaholm's always is the. I mean, that's the. You know, that's. I'm sure it's their game. It's our game. You know, so you talk about that with your crosstown rival all the time. So that's a red letter game, if you will. But for us, to be honest with you, it's just, other than that, you know, our thing is just the next game. You know, so our whole offseason was about Novi and getting ready for Novi. And then it's just a week-to-week thing.
Oak Park was a big one for us. You know, it was a close game last year, 1 point, and they were coming to our place. So that was a big test for us. And also going to Seaholm week 8, that's another big one. Never want to lose Seaholm.
When you look back at your 4 years here at Groves, what's maybe going to be that one memory that you're going to take with you in your football career?
Beating Brother Rice last year, shutting them out. So it was a huge game for us. I mean, Brother Rice, they used to beat up on us. Coach was just like, this is our year. We go get it. We get after it. We showed them that this is our house. We compete with anybody.
I would have to say last year against Harrison with the interception that we had with Ryan Flaherty. Everyone was saying that we were supposed to be going 3-6, that nothing was supposed to happen with our team. And I remember during that one moment that, during that overtime period, everything just sort of clicked together between the offense getting the score with Andrew Shekel and Bo Cooley, and to the defense with Ryan Flaherty closing the game with the interception. Everything just clicked. Everyone within our team had one singular heartbeat. And I remember at that moment, I just realized, holy crap, this is something that's bigger than myself. And it's something pretty damn amazing.
There's a lot of moments. You know, I think for me, it was when I was an assistant here, and it was our first year we took over. So I came over with Coach McDougal. And because I played for him and coached him at Shrine our first year at 93, and it was just brutal. And I'm the defensive coordinator, and we are Lasser, old school Lasser, and we're getting drilled. I'm just drilled. I mean, it's like, and I'm trying to coordinate a defense, and it's like putting gasoline on a fire. And my head was in my hands, and I was damn near tears. And I look up in the stands, and it's pouring rain too. It's straight, and we're getting drilled. And I look up there, and my girlfriend at the time, Tracy, is up there with all the other old coaches' wives, with McDougal and Malcolm and all these, you know, kind of like the old school wives. You know, they're up there cheering, and I saw her up there, and I said, you know what? That's the woman I'm gonna marry. She's here watching us get drilled in a driving rainstorm. She is as loyal and as beautiful as they come. So that, to date, is my coaching highlight moment.
And repeat they did. This team ends up going 7-2 in the regular season, including 6-1 league play. That was good enough for a share of a league title with Harrison and Oak Park.
Yep, somehow Coach Flaherty just keeps finding ways to win games. Now, 2 years ago, they won an OAA Blue title going through the regular season undefeated. And last year, they were a play away from playing in the state championship game, and this year, they win another league title.
This senior class will go down as one of the greatest in Groves history, that is for sure. So the reward for winning the OAA White this season and going 7-2 in the regular season is a first-round matchup with Birmingham Brother Rice.
Who's that? Oh, right, Warriors. They were red hot. The Warrior team was. They won 4 straight to end the season, and they had an absolute slugfest in the rain at Groves for round 1 of the MHSAA playoffs. 2 incredibly evenly matched teams. But unfortunately for the Falcons, they fell short in triple overtime.
The Falcons laid everything out on the field, and these captains and coaching staff have a lot to be proud of. Groves truly is here to stay, and they're a power not only in Oakland County, but the state of Michigan. Well, that will do it for today's show.
And if you missed any portion of it, you can check us out online at bloomfieldtwp.org.
Make sure to follow us on social media at Beyond Box Score on Twitter, and like us on Facebook.
And we absolutely need to thank the entire Groves Athletic Department, including all of their coaches and players, and of course, Athletic Director Tom Flynn.
A big thank you as well to our entire crew that helped in the production of this program. For Andy Aubrey, I'm Brad Fetters, thanking you for watching this episode of Beyond the Box Score. We'll see you in the winter.